Hi, thanks for reaching out. Are you looking for group media training, a large group of 20 or more people? Well, you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm TJ Walker, and for more than 30 years, I've been conducting large-scale media training workshops all over the world, all to help you really do one thing, and that is for you and your colleagues to get the exact word-for-word message you wanted and soundbite you wanted in the final news story, whether it's TV, radio, online, or print. It's about that level of control, not just being comfortable. Because you can be comfortable and frankly have awful messages get into the final story. So I teach you and your people how to get the exact quotes you want. Now, in order to do that, I also help you build 4 very specific skills. The first is knowing how to look comfortable, confident, relaxed anytime you have to be in front of one of these, a video camera. Because if you've got a great message, but your eyes are going all over the place or you're fidgeting, no one's going to focus on your message. The second skill is how do you shape a media message? How do you go from something as complex as all the issues surrounding your industry and really boil it down to something you can say in 30 seconds or less? 3 points. The third skill is how to answer questions in an interview. The fourth skill, the final skill, what's really most important, knowing how to package your messages with interesting quotable sound bites and use them, and how to make sure you don't accidentally have a sound bite come out of your mouth that's off message. So those are the skills taught. Now here's the typical process. We would pick a day, maybe 2 days, put it on the calendar, and then a couple weeks before we have a conference call. All of your participants, up to 100, they're all invited. They don't have to show up, but they're all invited to a pre-training conference call. I give them access to a couple of media training books, access to an online media training course to help them get a leg up on this training, and most important, a homework assignment. Working with you, we come up with a specific homework media scenario. It will then be the job of your colleagues to brainstorm their own message points and come up with the best sound bites, and then reach into their pocket, pull out a cell phone, record themselves delivering their messages and sound bites. Now, to help them do that, I give them a few media training books, an online course. They don't have to go through it all, but it will help them. The main thing is they practice speaking on video and they get used to looking at themselves. My average client practices 30 times before sending it to me. What that really means is if you book me for a day of training, your people are really going to get 2 days of training because they spend time on this in advance. Every one of your people who sends me a video for a critique, I watch it, I critique it, and I send them a video back. There's no extra per person charge. It's a flat rate fee, which I'll discuss in a moment, for up to 100 people. So this is where the learning starts right away. And it really forces people to think about their messages, their sound bites, and how they come across, and to watch themselves. Next, typically the night before the training, we all get together. We have dinner, we have an event, a cocktail party, and it allows people to meet me, ask me questions, for me to meet them. Not required, but it helps the process. There's no extra charge for it. Now, the day of training, it's completely unlike any other mass media training. It's not me standing up giving lectures and telling amusing anecdotes and talking about the time on CBS that doesn't really help people learn these skills. They learn it by doing it, by getting on camera. So what I do that's innovative is I have a system where nobody's ever sitting in their chair without standing up and speaking on camera at least once an hour. They never go longer than an hour without standing up to speak on camera. How do I do it? I pair people up. I give them a lot of guidance and coaching, but I have them stand up and practice with each other. So 2 people will become partners. One will record the other. They'll critique it with my guidance throughout. I'll also be getting people on camera too. But depending on how large your group is, obviously can't get 100 people on camera 10 times a day. But everyone will get on camera numerous times. The whole point of this is to get your people to the point where they can look at the screen and say, wow, TJ, if I can be half as good as he is, as she is, as they are, I'll be the star of my industry. And they're pointing to a media interview of themselves on video. That's when you know a real breakthrough took place. Now, no matter how good any one-day in-person training is, people's skills tend to peak at the end of the day of training. 3 months go by, they forget half. 6 months go by, maybe they forget the other half. So I have an extensive follow-up program for everyone I work with. For starters, up to 5 of your people can call me for an emergency rehearsal through live Skype video. So if 3 months go by after the training and all of a sudden they have a big interview, they call me. We don't just talk about the interview. I'll interview them, record it through Skype video, play it back, critique it. That way they go into their next interview with the same level of skill and confidence they had at the end of the training. Next, for any of your people, even up to 100, if they send me a video of their next media interview or their rehearsal, I'll give them a personalized critique in a video format. You'll see me just like you're seeing me now. Keeps them focused on their strengths, and if they've fallen into any bad habits, I'll let them know. Next, if any of your people have questions about dealing with the media, what do you do if it's an ambush interview? What if you have to go on a talk radio show? They can call me, email me, text me. I answer typically within 24 hours, typically in a video where I demonstrate best practices. Plus, all of your people will have access to hundreds and hundreds of hours of online media training courses where they can go back for a refresher. So 8 months go by and all of a sudden they have to meet a print reporter in person. There's a course for that. If they have to go on a talk radio show, they can listen to a lesson on that. So I'll be very blunt. If the goal is just to get people more comfortable, don't hire me. But if the goal is to figure out how can you make the most dramatic improvement in the skill level of your people when it comes to their media skills, short-term and long-term, a way for them to use video, audio, text, in-person, books, Skype, a comprehensive blended learning experience to make them great, I'm going to be the least expensive option you find. The investment for this, the total cost, is $10,000 per day. So if you want 2 days, it would just be times 2, $20,000. So that's the cost, $10,000 per day plus travel. If you have any questions or if you would like to go ahead and schedule a day, feel free to email or give a call.